Alright, so in this video, we're going to continue working with the triangle angle sum theorem, but what's different is we're now going to have to create equations and then solve them. And so the reason why we did combining like terms and solving equations for the warm-up is because we're going to have to put those two concepts together to solve these problems. So let's take a look at question 5. It tells us that I have one angle that's 55 degrees, one that's 54, and then the third angle, it just tells me is x plus 74. So now we can use that information to create an equation. X plus 74 plus 55 plus 54 have to all equal 180 because I'm talking about the interior angles of a triangle. Then all I have to do is combine my like terms and solve. So I can combine 74, 55, and 54. When I combine them, I get x plus 183 equals 180. Then I'm left with a one-step equation. I just need to solve for x. So when I subtract 183, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. When I subtract 183 from both sides, I get that x equals -3. Now again, this is not saying that the angle is negative. It's not possible to take a measurement and the answer be negative. However, this is just saying that x represents -3. Now I want you to try number 6 on your own and then play the video to check your work. This time I have 8x plus 2 plus 60 plus 70. And because we're talking about the interior angles of a triangle, they have to all equal 180. Now I want to point out that you could have wrote this in any order. You could have started with 70, you could have started with 60. It really doesn't matter. I just prefer to start with the information of the term that includes a variable. So now I just need to solve my equation. So I'm going to draw a river through the equal sign, and because I have like terms on the left side of the equation, I'm going to combine them. So I have 2 positive 60 and positive 70. When I combine those, I'm left with 8x plus 132 equals 180. Then, just a two-step equation. I need to subtract 132 from both sides. That leaves me with 8x equals 48. Then, all I have to do is divide by 8 because I still have a coefficient I need to get rid of. So when I divide by 8, my final answer is x equals 6. And I'm done because my directions were just to solve for x. Now questions 7 and 8 are very similar. However, instead of just solving for x, I also have to substitute it back in to solve for a missing angle. Alright, so example 7, same thing. I'm going to say x plus 59 plus x plus 51 plus 84. When I combine them, have to equal 180 after I solve my equation. So draw a river through my equal sign, and I have some like terms that can be combined. I have positive x and positive x. They combine to give me 2x. Then I have positive 59, positive 51, and positive 84. When I add those terms together, I get 194. So 2x plus 194 equals 180. Now I'm ready to solve my two-step equation. I subtract 194 from both sides, and that leaves me with 2x equals -14. But I need to solve for x, so when I divide by 2, I get x equals -7. However, I'm not done because the problem asked me to solve for the measure of angle A. So I covered it up a little bit here. But here I have angle A, and it tells me that angle A is equal to x plus 51. And I just figured out that x is -7. So I just need to substitute that back in. -7 plus 51 will tell me the measure of angle A. And when I combine 51 and -7, I get 44. So that means that A is 44 degrees. Now let's take a look at question 8. I want you to pause the video, try it on your own, and then go back and check your work. So I have x plus 37 plus x plus 67 And even though it doesn't say it numerically, I know that this is a right angle, so it's 90 degrees. Plus 90 all combined to give me 180. Now I need to combine my like terms. X plus X, 2X, 37, 67, and 90. It just so happens that when I combine those, I also get 194, and that equals 180. So it's actually the exact same equation I ended up with last time. So I subtract, I get 2x equals negative 14. I divide, and I get negative 7. However, even though x is negative 7, I still need to plug it in and solve for the angle. Right here, angle A, it tells us is x plus 37. So I need to substitute negative 7 in for x. So A is going to be equal to negative 7 plus 37. And when I add those two together, I get positive 30. So that means that angle A is equal to 30 degrees. So in this lesson, we learned how to create equations and solve for missing angles in a triangle. Now you may go ahead and do the back of your independent practice. Actually, I was going to end the video, but I realized you may need some guidance on how to do the independent practice, so let me just go over one with you. And so, even though the questions don't have numbers, I would suggest you number it because you are going to, sorry about that, you need to show your work on a separate sheet of paper to answer these questions. So just number them and make sure on your separate sheet of paper it's nicely numbered and you show your work. And so let's do number 1 together. I don't have a separate sheet of paper, so I'm just going to kind of create one for myself. All right, so for question number 1, I have a triangle and I need to solve for x. For all of these, we're only solving for x. You don't have to go back and figure out the angle. So I have 3x plus 53 plus 100, when I combine, has to equal 180. 53 plus 100 are my like terms. So 3x plus 153 equals 180. Now I just have a two-step equation. Subtract 153 from both sides. That leaves me with 3x equals positive 27. I then need to divide by 3, and I get that x equals 9. So I like this worksheet because it allows you to check your own work. We solved and we got x equals 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look here on the puzzle, and I'm going to try to find where I see x equals 9, which of course is right here. And next to question number 1, it shows me the pattern that I need to use to color in that box. And so you're welcome to use colored pencils. If you don't want to use colored pencils, you can just use your pencil and shade in the box using the pattern that it tells you to do. So that one was just a shade in the complete box. All right, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask myself or one of our other teachers.